Have you ever seen The Bachelor? Yeah, me neither. But that's kinda what happened to me.
You're 18 now, Mason, and I just want to see you get settled. Mama wants a grandchild.
Ew! Mom! You realize some people get married in their 30s, right?
Yuck! Do you want me to wait another decade to be a grandma? I want people to gasp and be shocked when I tell them I have a grandchild. I want to be the hot, young grandma. You won't deny your poor mother that, would you?
That's a very specific and weird thing for you to make a goal of.
Oh, come on, Mason. How about this? Go on a blind date for me. I'll even set up the whole thing. You won't have to lift a finger. All you'll have to do is show up.
I just wanted her to stop bothering me about it, so I said yes. Oh boy, had I known what deal I was signing, I would have thought twice. Probably 3 times. I turned up to the restaurant expecting to meet one girl, but as soon as I got through the doors, every head turned and I saw 50 pairs of lips smile in my direction. They all had stars and hearts in their eyes, and more than a few of them had dollar signs. An older woman in glasses with her hair in a tight bun took me by the arm and guided me to the far end of the room.
Hello. You must be young Mason. I'm Giannina, Aldersworth Marple. You can call me Miss Marple. Your mother has appointed me to be the date wrangler for this session. Are you ready?
Ready for what? I thought this was going to be a blind date, not a job fair. What are all these girls doing here? And why are they looking at me like that?
Why, they're here to apply to be your girlfriend, of course. Don't you worry. I've been doing this kind of thing for years. It'll be over before you know it. Now sit here and be ready to ask your questions. Here's your questionnaire. I've highlighted ones that I thought you'd be particular about.
One by one, the girls sat in front of me. At first, I had a genuine smile. I really was looking forward to meeting them. They were all beautiful and friendly. But by the 10th one, my cheeks were starting to hurt, and my eyes and ears began to wander. I simply couldn't sit through 50 of them. They would rattle off and laugh and giggle, but my mind was somewhere else. So I put on a fake smile and nodded. And eventually the next girl would come along and the cycle would repeat. By the end of the evening, I was just as confused as when it began. And when I got home to my mom and she asked me if I'd chosen a top 3, all I could tell her was that they were all amazing. I was lying, of course. I had no idea. Mom tutted.
That simply will not do. But no worries, I have a backup plan.
Her backup plan was something only rich, eccentric people with a bunch of time and a production crew on their hands could have thought of. My mom is a big name in Hollywood, and all she needed to do was snap her fingers and it was done. That very same weekend, she took me to an abandoned theme park. Only, it wasn't abandoned anymore. There was fair music, the lights were on, and the rides were spinning and tumbling and turning. Except there were no tourists. There was a red carpet, about 200 people who worked for my mom's film studios, and there were dozens of cameras pointed at us. Suddenly, someone in the back shouted, "Rolling! Action!" Mom grabbed my hand and she pretended to talk to me about random stuff as we walked down the driveway and onto the red carpet. My head was spinning. What was happening? I pulled my hand away from her and she had to turn around annoyed.
What are you doing? We're rolling!
What the heck is happening here? Why are we being filmed?
You've ruined the take. Now we have to get back in the car and do it all over again. There's only so much light in the day.
Cut! We'll go again. You're doing great, guys. Mom explained everything to me in the car. She wasn't up for another retake. With her money and power, she put together a whole program for me. I was going to be the prize, including all the money and riches she owns, of course. Provided that I ended up marrying the winner. There are 50 contestants, and the girls will be competing for my affection in a variety of contests. Whoever made me fall for them wins. And the finale episode was going to be our wedding. It was set in a theme park because Mom knew how much I loved them. When I realized what kind of twisted nonsense I was going to be a part of, the whole theme park aspect started sounding more like a nightmare than a dream. The first game was easy. All 50 girls had a week to prepare. They researched me. They learned everything about me, and they all had to play a massive quiz game. Just like that one on TV where they would ask questions and the first one to buzz in got points. The girls who got over 100 points proceeded to the next round. Almost 30 girls were eliminated. I had to stand there and shake their hands one by one. They were a mess. Some of them were sobbing. Others still tried to hand me their numbers, but Mom threw them away. Some even pretended to faint. The next game was a quick-fire round. Every girl had 2 minutes with me, 120 seconds to tell me as much about themselves as possible. The aim was to impress me, and my mom and one of the producers, which happened to be my aunt. If the girl had potential, and if she spoke well, she'd get a smiley face. If not, it was a red, angry emoji. I gave them all happy faces. I just didn't feel comfortable judging people like that. So in the end, it was up to my mom and my aunt Debbie's discretion. A lot of the girls stumbled and stuttered. They were so nervous they started blabbing. And in the end, they were eliminated. 15 girls remained. And of those, 2 of the girls really impressed my mom and my aunt. And I have to say, I was also starting to feel a little warm in the face. The way Jenna and Joanna looked at me, it was as if they were looking at the love of their lives. The next contest was a pageant. Each of the girls had to show me their talent. There was a girl who twirled a flaming baton and danced. There was one who told a bedtime story. We were all asleep by the end of it. Even the director was caught snoring. Another girl did close-up magic tricks, which really amazed me. And there was one who put on a one-woman production of The Sandman. It was 3 hours long. Halfway through, the director had to cut her off because, as entertained as we all were, the sun was about to go down. And then Jenna came on. It was just her on the stage in the spotlight. Then she sat down and there was a grand piano. Jenna began to play the most haunting rendition of Clair de Lune on that piano. And by the end of it, there was not a dry eye in that theme park. Even her fellow competitors were sobbing. We stood up from our seats and clapped. But as soon as Joanna stepped up on the stage, everyone grew quiet. All our sadness faded away. There was something about her smile that was so infectious. And when she started talking, we realized her talent was a stand-up performance. She made us laugh and hoot for joy. She was hilarious. I could barely catch my breath from laughing so much that I had tears from all of the laughter. We went from crying of sadness to wiping tears of joy. It was amazing. I couldn't pick from all the great girls. And so after they all returned to the stage in their evening gowns, Mom had an idea. The next day I took them all on one-on-one dates. They drew lots and we went on the ride that they chose. I had one on the roller coaster. That was exhilarating, but we didn't get to talk much. I had another on the log ride. We were soaked by the end of it, and the girl stomped away in a fury, annoyed that her dress and makeup got ruined. There was the teacups, the scary train, the gravitron, the anchors away, and the space shuttle. And then there was Jenna. We must have talked for hours on that carousel. We talked and laughed and just went round and round, and I never wanted to stop. She really wanted me. She wanted to be with me, and she worked really hard to win my affection. We kissed. But then there was Joanna. We got on the Ferris wheel. The least exciting ride, in my opinion. And somehow she managed to take my breath away. She was stunning, and she was smart and witty. I never wanted to get off the Ferris wheel. She confessed one thing, though. She told me that she joined for the money. And in fact, she's doing it for her family, to get them out of poverty. But in the end, she said she fell for me. And now she wanted nothing more but to be with me, even if she didn't get the money. Mom eliminated the rest of the girls after that. Jenna and Joanna stood before the 3 of us holding hands. And then, Mom announced the winner.
The winner and my future daughter-in-law is... Jenna!
Jenna cried. Joanna comforted her and congratulated her. And a week later, Jenna stood before me at an altar. But there was one thing I couldn't help but think about. Joanna. She put herself through that grueling love game so selflessly, for the people she loved. And in the end, I loved her for that. Because a person who could love like that and sacrifice was the most admirable to me. And I knew I wanted to be with her. So, I apologized to Jenna and ran out of there. I found Joanna and told her everything, and we kissed, and it was magical. That was when my mom found us. Please, don't be mad. Mom smiled.
Why? Joanna made you fall in love. She won. And I'm so happy she did. Now we can finally have that finale wedding.
Joanna and I got married. Even Jenna was there to congratulate us. With her date, the director. So it all ended well. Everyone found love. And in 2 weeks, my mom is about to meet her first grandson.